I could really just be taking these to the bookshop and not make videos about these books. But I figured, I don't know, maybe you people seem to like these. I'm not too sure. But I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it'll give you something to chew on until I do eventually announce the tour. So, as I said, this is another library unhaul, or book unhaul, in which I take out books from my library that are either in rather not too desirable condition, are highlighted and annotated all the hell, books that are either duplicate copies or just books that I don't see myself reading anytime soon. That's basically the whole run of this series and how I operate here. And the reason why I do this is just to basically, I suppose, reduce and I suppose prepare myself for this tour, but also just to sort of have less books in my library. Just, I don't know, to tidy things up a bit. I am going to be getting some new shelves. So that might be, I might have more room to expand, but as of now, I don't have that much room yet until I put up those other shelves. And I suppose I'll go ahead and show you all these books here that I will be taking to my local bookshop in exchange for store credit. I'll be donating these, as I said. At least the clean copies. So, first one here. This is the only annotated book. And no bin books this time. No bin books whatsoever. Which is rather interesting. In this part, no bin books. But the first book we have here is How to Read Literature Like a Professor. A lively and entertaining guide to reading between the lines by Thomas C. Foster. I had to read this book for advanced literature back in secondary school, and I absolutely hated this book. I hated the way this fellow wrote. He was an academic, so-called, and you can see that this thing is underlined just and highlighted extensively. But this man, I know it's supposed to be a conversational tone, but it's like not good. It's almost too casual for an academic work. It's as if, you know, some random jamoke from the street was talking to you about literature and such. And a lot of the analysis that's going on here is pretty supererogatory and very just frivolous and obscurantic. There's a lot of, like, you know, the curtains are blue and this means something or other and such, when really the curtains are just blue. And just a whole bunch of pointless analyses that don't make any sense whatsoever. This is an awful book. I don't recommend anyone read this at all. I don't understand why these English teachers push this, because this is just horrible dreck. It should not be read by anyone. So, I'm getting rid of that. Okay, now for all of the bookshop books, or the books I will donate to the bookshop. We have a few Jack Reacher books by Lee Child. I've not read any Jack Reacher books. Do let me know if they're any good or not. If they are, I might pick up one. But these have been taking up space that really could be used for other books. And I just figured I probably won't read them anytime soon. And I've heard about this particular, the first book in this series not being very good, and that really sort of lowered my estimation of the series as a whole. But anyway, we have here Killing Floor, Worth Dying For, which is in questionable condition, but you can still read it. And never go back. Let me know. Pick up Kermit back there. Let me know if the Jack Reacher series is worth reading. I know my cousin Sandra, who watches these videos, very much enjoys the Reacher books. Maybe perhaps she could recommend me one. But I'm not. At this point in time, I don't think I'll read these. So they are going to be enjoyed by someone else who happens to peruse the local bookshop in my area. So I will go ahead and donate those. Okay, we have here 2 books that are a part of a series with some very interesting covers. We have here Pelandra and That Hideous Strength, both by C.S. Lewis. These are in his Space Trilogy. I was originally going to sell these on eBay because, these are pretty nice condition copies, but I could not find the first one, Out of the Silent Planet, in this same style. So I do have the whole trilogy in different copies, so I figured these are good enough to donate and be enjoyed by somebody else other than me. Okay, these 2 here are really just kind of frivolous purchases on my part, but we do have from Chronicle Books. We have The Lost World and the Poison Belt and When the World Screamed and Other Stories by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. These are volumes 1 and 2 of the Professor Challenger adventures. I read all the Professor Challenger stories a while back, and don't get me wrong, I can't get enough of Challenger, but I have way too many copies of these stories to justify myself owning these. So those will be enjoyed by people who have not yet been acquainted with the wonderful character who is Professor George Edward Challenger, and will be duly donated. This book here I showed in a book haul a long while back, and I had said that this was a very pointless purchase because it was unlike what I thought it was going to be, and really it was a waste of 50 or 25 cents. That there is the movie reference book by Tony Bruce. I originally thought this was going to be like a whole bunch of quotes from films or something or other, and that'd be kind of interesting to read. But no, it's just pictures of all these famous film stars and even musicians like Jim Morrison and Paul McCartney and Chewbacca for some reason. But, and Tina Louise, interesting. But I can't see a point to owning this, so that will be enjoyed by someone else. I'm not sure if I will keep this or not, now looking back at it, because I don't really know much about this particular author. But apparently he's a classic Spanish playwright. But I haven't read anything by him, nor have I ever heard of him. I just had this book in my library, and really it just took up space. And that is 3 Tragedies by Lorca. This is Federico Garcia Lorca. That's his name. Let me know, any of you, if he is any good or not, and I will keep this book, perhaps. But for now, it's going to the bookshop. Okay, just another Dover thrift edition of 5 great short stories of Jack London. Have all the stories in here, so don't need it. Okay, 2 more books here. We have here the Evelyn Wood 7-Day Speed Reading and Learning Program by Stanley D. Frank, EDD. I tried learning to speed read. I could not do it at all. This book was not very helpful. I only got like halfway through it. And I just put it down because it wasn't helping me at all. So maybe it'll help somebody else. Okay, now this last book here, I have no idea what to do with. I don't know whether to donate it or to scrap it or to whatever, because this is a case unlike any other I've seen out of a book. It's so singular that I figured I may as well exhibit it to you. The book in question is The French Lieutenant's Woman by John Fowles, and I'll show you the issue with it. It's around this page mark here, around the 300 or so page mark. You can see there pages 309, 310, and then it jumps to 315. The reason for that is because, I'll show you, this book, and then a page is out of there, so I might just actually end up throwing this away maybe, but I don't know. But this book is bound, you can see there's 314 right after 328, and then there's 326, 327, and then 328, 330, 329. It's bound backwards, and just sections of this book are moved around all sorts of places. It's kind of an unusual affair. So I might just, I'd hate to do it because it's in great condition, but I might just have to throw this away because it's a debacle, a most singular debacle indeed. So that might well go in the bin as well. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this very boring. These are all very boring. Unhaul. Hopefully this was interesting to you, and hopefully you got an idea as to what is in this library, and therefore will be this will hopefully whet your appetite in anticipation of the actual tour, whenever that will be, even though I already have a date. Hope you enjoyed, and we will see you here next time. Cheers.